Hello, welcome to Pajama Storytime. My name is Miss Camille. I'm the librarian at Elm City Library. I'm so glad you've joined me for some stories tonight, and I hope they will be good stories for you to enjoy this evening. The theme for today is Little Red Riding Hood. Little Red Riding Hood was written hundreds of years ago in France for the first time, and then over the years a lot of different writers, authors have changed the story a little bit to make it in different countries and different languages and with different themes for what they wanted to do. So today we're going to read the original one and then two books that are a little bit different, but they're about Little Red Riding Hood. So first, let's start with our song. I hope you sing along with me. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. So I'm going to start with Little Red Riding Hood by Margaret Hillert. And this is pretty much the way it was written 1700 years ago. 1700s, I should say, not 1700 years ago. Mother said, "Look here, little one. Here is something for you. Something red. See how it looks on you." The little girl said, "Oh, Mother, how pretty it is. I like it. I like red." "Now," said Mother, "I want you to do something. I want you to go to Grandmother's house." "Oh, good," said the girl. "I like to do that. It is fun." "Yes," said Mother, "and here is something good to eat. Take it to Grandmother. Go on now. Do not play on the way." "No, Mother," said the girl, "I will not play. I will run, run, run." "Oh, I like it here. This is fun, and I see something pretty for Grandmother." "Red ones, yellow ones, blue ones. I will get this and this and this. Oh, what do I see now? Something big, big, big. Do I like this big one?" "Yes, I am big, but I like you. I will walk with you. What do you have?" "I have something pretty for my grandmother, and I have something good to eat." "That is good. You are a good girl, but I have to go now. I have to run." "And I have to run too. Where is Grandmother's house? Oh, I see it. That is it." "Grandmother, Grandmother, here I am. I have come to see you. I have something for you. Come in, come in. Come here to me. I want a good look at you." "Oh, how did you get in here? You look like Grandmother, but you are not Grandmother. Where is Grandmother? Did you eat my grandmother? I do not like you. Help, help." "Here I come," said a man. "I will help you. See what I can do. I can make this big one run away." Get out," said the man. "Go away. We do not want you here." But where is grandmother? I do not see grandmother. Oh, I want my grandmother. Here I am, little one, said grandmother. He did not eat me. Come here to me. My, how good it is to see you. The end. It was by Margaret Hillert, illustrated by Gwen Connolly. So this book is still about Red Riding Hood, but a little bit different twist on the story. It's called Super Red Riding Hood by Claudia Davila. Not far from here, near a small forest, lives a girl named Ruby. Ruby's favorite color is red. She loves red berries. Her red boots, and especially the red cloak her grandma made for her. When Ruby puts on her red cloak, she becomes Super Red Riding Hood. You've been indoors all day, her mother said. Why don't you go pick some raspberries to have with your snack? This did not sound like an important mission to Ruby, but she could see that her mom meant business. Ruby kissed her mom goodbye and set out along the path to the raspberry bushes, with her lunchbox in hand. The woods are deep and dark and full of danger, Ruby said to herself. But Super Red Riding Hood is never scared. Ruby was marching along bravely when, oh no, Ruby's big red rubber boot almost crushed a tiny snail in the middle of the path. This is a dangerous place for a little snail, she said. Luckily, Super Red Riding Hood is here to rescue you. She carefully moved the little snail out of harm's way. A good deed done, she said. Ruby skipped toward the woods. Who's afraid of the deep dark woods? The deep dark woods, the deep dark woods. Who's afraid of the deep dark woods? Na, 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 not me, she sang. When she got to the edge of the forest, she stopped and peered ahead. A chill drifted out from the shadowy darkness. A superhero must be silent like a cat and watch out for the danger, Ruby whispered and tiptoed into the woods. The forest was full of strange noises. It was a very good thing she had remembered to bring her flashlight. Owl, twig, woodpecker, she said aloud, shining her bright light toward the different sounds. Who's afraid of the deep dark woods, the deep dark woods, the deep dark woods? Who's afraid of the deep dark woods? Na 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 na, not me, she sang as she walked. Before long, she came to a sunny clearing packed with raspberry bushes. She ran to fill her lunchbox with juicy red berries. Mission accomplished, she said triumphantly. She was just snapping her lunchbox closed when she heard a new sound. A big, tumbly, growly, terrifying sound. Growl. Ruby's tummy twisted in a knot. Her teeth began to chatter. A superhero must be brave, she reminded herself. Who's afraid of the wolf? He towered over Ruby, looking frightful with his sharp claws, his yellow fangs, and his bushy tail swishing from side to side. The wolf inched closer. Soon he was so close to Ruby she could feel his steamy breath on her face. Excuse me, I'd like to get by, Ruby said, in a smaller voice than she would have liked. The wolf did not move. He grinned and asked in a cackly growl, "Where are you going all alone in this big dark forest?" Ruby narrowed her eyes and peered at the shaggy beast. "Why do you want to know?" "Oh, just curious, I suppose. Maybe you can tell me this. What's in the box?" Before she could answer, the wolf lunged, quick as a rabbit. Super Red Riding Hood hopped out of the way and used her super skills to leap and dart past the tricky wolf. She scrambled up an oak tree and perched on a branch just out of the wolf's reach while she sat and caught her breath. The grumpy wolf skulked around the trunk of the tree. Ruby had had enough. "Wolf," she called down, "let me pass." But the wolf stayed put. "Wolf, I'm going to count to 5. You'd better leave me alone." The wolf still did not move. 1, Ruby said firmly. 2, 3, 4. He could see that Ruby meant business. Okay, I'll leave you alone." Ruby started climbing back down the tree, but then growl. "Wolf, it's my tummy," the wolf moaned. "I'm just really hungry." "Well, why didn't you say so?" Ruby jumped out of the tree, her red cloak floating down behind her like a parachute. "If you wanted some of my snack, you could have just asked," she said. The wolf looked at Ruby with a big, drooly smile. "Okay, can I have some?" he asked, holding out a paw. Ruby pulled her lunchbox out of the wolf's reach. "Not so fast, wolf. You really scared me before, snarling at me with your big fangs and those sharp claws." The wolf's ears drooped. He looked at the ground. "I'm sorry," he said. Ruby took a long look at the sad, hungry wolf. "Ah, forget about it," she said at last. The wolf perked up. "Please?" he asked politely. A superhero always helps those in need. So Super Red Riding Hood did what any superhero would do. She popped open her lunchbox and shared the juicy berries. As Ruby and the wolf snacked together under the big oak tree, Ruby remarked, "I didn't know wolves liked raspberries." "Oh, yes," said the wolf cheerfully. "They're our favorite." The wolf sat thinking for a little while as he munched. "I didn't know little girls could be superheroes," he said. "Oh, yes," said Ruby with a wide smile. "We can." The end. So that was Super Red Riding Hood by Claudia Davila. The third book I'm going to read is also based on the idea of Little Red Riding Hood and the wolf, but this one has a coyote in it. And a coyote is kind of like a wolf, but different. So this one is called Isabel and the Hungry Coyote, written by Keith Pollett, illustrated by Esther Szegedy. Isabel and the Hungry Coyote. Coyote's stomach rumbled as he prowled the desert, looking for something to eat. He suddenly stopped at the entrance to a small, dry valley. His yellow eyes flashed as he spotted a little girl wearing a red hood. She was singing softly and picking desert flowers. Licking his lips, Coyote silently crept towards the girl in red. With his eyes narrowed into slits, Coyote inched closer and closer. The girl kept picking flowers. When Coyote was just a few feet away, he got ready to pounce, but suddenly his stomach rumbled. It churned and gurgled and grumbled. The girl whirled around. "Mr. Coyote," she exclaimed, "what do you want?" "Oh," said Coyote as his stomach growled again, "I just wanted to say, good morning." "Well, good morning to you," said the girl, taking a step back. "My name is Isabel." "That's a pretty red hood you are wearing, Isabel," said Coyote. His glowing eyes flared as he inched closer to her. "Thank you, sir. This hood keeps the sun from my face," Isabel said as she took another step back. "I see," said Coyote. "Where are you going?" Coyote stepped even closer to her. "I'm going to visit my grandmother," said Isabel as she backed away from him. "Is that so? And where does your grandmother live?" he asked slyly. "She lives at the end of the valley," replied Isabel. She pointed down the road. "Look, there is her house." Coyote looked at the adobe house and then at Isabel. "This girl would make a fine lunch," he thought. "But if I wait, I can gobble up the girl and her grandmother," he schemed. Coyote sniffed the air. "What do you have in the basket?" "Spicy tamales and red chili sauce," said Isabel. "Would you like one?" "Oh, no," he said. "I never eat tamales and chili sauce. They taste like fire and burn my mouth," snapped Coyote. Coyote looked toward the house and said, "I have to go now. Goodbye." "Goodbye," replied Isabel, her voice quivering. Coyote kicked up a little dust as he scampered away. His yellow eyes flashed as he vanished in the direction of the grandmother's house. When Isabel arrived, she called out, "Hello, grandmother. Are you home?" In a sweet voice, Coyote answered, "Yes, Isabel, come in." Isabel went straight to her grandmother's bedroom. Coyote said, "I am happy to see you, my dear. Come closer." Isabel approached the bed. Then she stopped. "Grandmother, why do you have such big ears? Why do you have such big eyes?" "My eyes are big so I can see you, my dear," said Coyote. Isabel looked closely. "Grandmother, why do you have such big ears?" "My ears are big so that I can hear you, my dear," said Coyote. Then Isabel gasped, "Grandmother, why do you have such big arms?" "My arms are big so I can hug you, my dear," said Coyote. Isabel cried out, "Grandmother, what a big mouth you have." "Little Isabel, I have a big mouth so I can eat you," snarled the Coyote.
With a terrible growl, Coyote leapt from the bed. He grabbed Isabel with his powerful arms and opened his big jaws to swallow her. Isabel trembled as she looked into Coyote's wide mouth. She squirmed and tried to get away, but Coyote's arms were very, very strong. Coyote opened his jaws even wider. Isabel stared into his cave-like mouth and suddenly got an idea. She threw the entire basket of tamales and chile sauce into Coyote's big trap. Coyote bit down. Then he howled, "Ay! Tamales and chili sauce! My mouth is on fire!" Coyote dropped Isabel and raced out of the house. He hurried through the gate and dashed into the valley, howling the entire time. Isabel listened to his cries fade away into the desert. Just then, the back door of the house opened. A voice said, "Hello, Isabel. I'm so happy to see you, my dear." Isabel turned and cried, "Oh, grandmother." The girl ran to hug her. Isabel's grandmother said, "I was taking a nap in the backyard when a terrible howl woke me up." Isabel nodded. "That was Coyote. He wanted to eat me for lunch, but I threw a basket of tamales and chile sauce into his big mouth." "You are a brave and clever girl," Isabel's grandmother said with a smile. "But grandmother," said Isabel, "I brought those tamales and chili sauce for you." "Don't worry, my dear," she said, said her grandmother. "We can make some more." And that is exactly what they did. The end. So that was Isabel and the Hungry Coyote, written by Keith Paulette and illustrated by Esther Szegedi. I hope you enjoyed those books. They were fun to read to you. And when you get a chance, come to one of the Wilson County Public Libraries. There's several branches. I'm here at Elm City, and we have these books and other fairy tales that would be fun for you to read. Here's another one that's a twist on the original Little Red Riding Hood. It's called Petit Rouge, a Cajun Red Riding Hood book by Mike Artell. So I hope that you enjoyed these and have a good night. Sleep tight, sweet dreams. Goodbye. Thank you.